Hi, my name is Nikola, I'm 20 years old, and this is a story of how I went from being a dead broke kid in Serbia who couldn't afford an iPhone to earning 6 figures a year, working a remote sales job in less than 2 years. I was born and grew up in Serbia, a country in Southeast Europe where an average salary is like $15,000 a year. Now I make more in a month. People invite me to come and give presentations on my job. I travel whenever I want, I live in my dream apartment, I give money to my parents. Overall, I built the life I always wanted for myself. This is not to brag. It's not. The sole purpose of the video is to inspire you. If a kid from a low-income country, no support from his friends or family, no money, nothing, if that kid can succeed in the online space, so can you. Let's get started. I grew up in a middle-class family of 5, middle class by Serbian standards, mind you. Things like getting an iPhone or getting a car at 18 are luxury. So, always had food on the table, had my own room, but not more than that. I'm a very hungry person. Ever since I was young, I knew I wanted to be rich. I wanted to drive a nice car, wanted to travel, wanted to live in a great place, and it was not possible by the route that was prescribed to me, right? My parents and everyone in my environment was like, go to college, get a stable job, and then when you're 55 or 65, you will make $10,000 a month. Phenomenal. When I'm 55 or 65. Brother, I want it when I'm 20, right? No time to waste. I want to make money now. I need money yesterday. So ever since I was 15, it was around 2020, I was like, okay, I need to make money. I want to make money, I need money. I tried e-commerce, right? Completely flopped. Didn't know anything. Didn't know what the hell I was doing. After that, I tried with crypto, lost like $400 or something. And then like a lot of other people, I started an agency, right? I was cold calling people from the US. I was calling like jewelries and car dealerships in Minnesota and Ohio, like states like that, like random ass states. And no one, I didn't get a client, right? So I tried all these numerous ways to make money online, but none of them worked. And what I realized very early on is you need a skill, right? You cannot sell air. It's not possible. You need a skill in order to make money. So I was like, okay, sounds good, makes sense, right? Like it took me like a couple months to realize that. I don't have the money for the course though, right? I need money for the course to get the knowledge, etc. It's like, okay, let me make $2,000 and then with 2K, I'm gonna get a copywriting course and then 1K for the laptop. So like 2K and I'm set, I can go and make, I don't know, 2K a month. I always knew how to speak English very well, so I thought, all right, let me do some job, like a job, for someone who's a foreigner, be paid in USD, rather than someone who's Serbian, who's gonna pay me, 3 times, 4 times less than someone from the US for the exact same job. I couldn't move the country at 16, right? So I looked up on Facebook, I found a group called Expats in Belgrade, which is the city I'm from. And I joined the group and I was like an active member, whatever, helping other people with like questions that a local would know the answer to. So in that group, I got connected with a guy from Texas. He looked to invest in Serbia. So like he needed someone physically in Serbia to like do tasks for him, right? So I got the job for him, like completely, knocked the interview out of park. And very early on, I noticed that the guy is fucking rich, right? That he owns businesses in America, to be specific, tire stores all throughout Texas. So it's like, okay, if I prove myself to this guy, if I really, build up my reputation, he's gonna trust me with a much more serious thing than this. Therefore, it's gonna make me much more money. So because of that, I underpromised, over-delivered, everything was always on time, everything was great, right? I really gave my best. So it was an opportunity given to me, I, died for it. So naturally, because I was so good at the job, he started trusting me more and more and more and more. So June 2023, like about a year of working for him, like I graduated high school, 2.5 months after, he invites me to go sell tires for him in Houston, Texas, right? I'm like, okay, like what's the money looking like? What should I do? I never drove a car in my life, right? But I'm like open to hearing about it, right? And he was like, yeah, like I know you would crush the job, like I already know you, da. The last person who we obviously fired was making around 5-6K a month. I was like, okay. Person who got fired, he wasn't doing the job as good, right? Was making 5 to 6 grand a month. So not only have I never drove a car in my life before, but I have also never been in sales. And now he invites me to go sell tires for him at his biggest store. So huge thing upon me, no doubt, but I thought about 30 minutes about it. I was like, okay, I never sold in my life, but what is the essence of sales? Communication, right? And I was always, I believe, like very good at it. So like, all right, I have an opportunity to go and make at least $5,000 a month, right? If the guy who got fired was making $5K a month, I can make minimum $5K a month. I never saw that kind of money in my life before. So like, okay, let's run it, right? Let's go to Texas, let's sell tires. 5 days after, I was on my way to Houston, Texas. I was 18 at the time. I never lived alone. I never moved from like the very same apartment I was born and grew up in and lived at up until that point, you know, in my room with my brothers, with my parents. And now I'm on my way to Houston, you know, to a place I'd never been to go sell tires. Again, never drove a car in my life, never done sales. But I took a leap of faith. I was like, Nikola, you must go and try. You must go and give your best. Even though first couple of weeks were like hell, I learned the ropes pretty quickly, right? It's very straightforward. Like you need to know about cars, you need to know the models of tires, the sizes. Like you just need to convince a customer that your tire is better than a competitor's tire, that you have a better deal than a guy across the street. I even learned how to sell tires in Spanish. Like we had a huge number of like people from Mexico, Guatemala, whatever, who didn't speak English. They come up to me like, habla español. I'm like, sí, me habla español. ¿Necesita llantas? Sí, ok, amigo. ¿Qué tamaño llantas? Ok, yo tengo. ¿Cuántas necesitas? 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever, right? So I was doing whatever it takes to succeed. And in my opinion, I crushed that job. I was like doing my best at the job. Like I was giving my all. And don't get me wrong, it paid off. Like my highest month was 8K. But it got to me pretty quickly that I don't see my future here. I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I don't want to have a set schedule. I don't want a manager being, you know, an ass to me. I don't want to have to show up to a certain place every day at the same time or else get fired. I didn't want that. Truly what I craved, what I really wanted was freedom. Live life on my own terms. And 9 to 5 just wasn't giving me that. So I thought, okay, how do I use the skill that I have, skill of sales and skill of communication, how do I use that in the online world where I can work remotely, I can travel the world. You know, I was being bombarded by the make money online ads, like e-commerce, dropshipping, crypto, like all of that. And I knew that's a sham. Like I wasn't looking for a business model. I was looking for a way to transition to an industry where I'm gonna be able to do sales just online. And then as I was going through the internet, looking to, you know, do that thing, looking to, you know, utilize my skill in the online world, I discovered this thing called remote appointment setting. I met this one guy who makes 10K a month, working 6 hours a day, travels, does the work wherever he wants, whenever he wants. He sets his own schedule and I was like, okay, this is it. This is what I was looking for. This is living life on my own terms. So I was sold on it. I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's run it. I'm 100% in it. I'm gonna go give my best. So after around 10 days of deciding that appointment setting is the next step for me, quit my job, moved back to Serbia and full on focus appointment setting. Like that's the thing for me, let's run it. Truthfully, I didn't buy a course, didn't buy a program. I was like, I'm gonna learn it on myself, 100%. If I was able to sell tires to Mexicans in Spanish, I'm gonna be able to set appointments for online coaches and agencies, right? That was my thought process. I obviously couldn't do it without my buddy. He taught me about how to land interviews, you know, how the entire process works, like, you know, high level overview. So like I knew what it was about, I just didn't have an official course or a program. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just learn it on myself. I know how to, you know, land an interview, I'm gonna crush the interview, I'm gonna get the job. So in my entire appointment setting journey that started in November of 2023, I worked for gotta be like 9 or 10 different companies, like for fitness coaches, for agencies, for business coaches, for this guy, that guy. And like I learned everything myself, as I said. And then come July 2024, I was making around 5K a month, I would say, like if I remember correctly, between 4 to 6K a month. I got my hands on this opportunity to work for one of the industry leaders, a guy called Jeremy Pogue. And he literally posted on a story that he needs an appointment setter. So at that point, I was working appointment setting already for 9 months. So I knew that this guy's a big fish. I knew if I land the role working for this guy, like that's a huge career jump. I'm gonna be making above 10K a month. I'm gonna meet all these people. I'm gonna learn about the industry A to Z, like thoroughly. So it was literally like a golden ticket for me. What that meant for me is, okay, if I get the job for Jeremy and I do it correctly, like I do the job as I should, that means that there won't be a time where I make less than 10K a month. So you better believe I was hungry for it. Like okay, I will do whatever it takes to get this job. Like, I don't care. So I applied, took me 3 hours to write the application. Like, I knocked it out of the park. And then a couple days after, head of sales for Jeremy Pogue, Matthias, who is now a very good friend of mine, messages me, tells me I got the interview. So I come on an interview and I tell him, listen, if I get this job, I will not just perform, I will over-exceed all your expectations. I'll be the best setter by far who you ever had. So I got the job and I did exactly that. I got the company to 2 record months in a row, November and December, earning $14,000 a month in December off of commissions alone. Bringing such results to Jeremy put me onto a place where I became the guy to go to when it comes to appointment setting. People reaching out to me to train their setters, people paying me for consultations, for coaching, etc., etc. So I thought to myself, how can I now make even larger impact and make even more money for myself? Thought about it for a couple days and then it got to me. Coach other people. Because of so many connections, I can guarantee them a job. I can guarantee them a job. If they don't get the job in 3 months, full refund. Obviously, that's a huge risk from my end, so naturally I don't work with everyone. But if you're good at communication, you got the grit, and most importantly, you got the hunger. Because truly, I believe from the bottom of my heart, it all boils down to how bad do you want something. And if that's not you, no worries, right? It's not gonna be for everyone. I mean, it's not the purpose of the video. The purpose is, my friend, is to sell you on you. If a kid from East Europe who had no money, no connections, nothing, if I was able to go this far in the online space, so can you. You have no excuse. The only thing separating winners from losers is action. Do you know what winners do when they get a hold of an opportunity they think is a good move for them? Yes. That's right. They take action. The only difference between those who live life on their own terms and those who stay stuck is action. Those who want to find a way will find a way. Those who want an excuse will always find an excuse. Always. I want you to please remember that. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Ciao.